All right, well, we'll go ahead and call meeting to order. We'll start with our invocation and our Pledge of Allegiance. Invocation will be led by Dr. Neil Leff.
Just make a comment. The work that this commission does, and I say this for the benefit of the citizens, really impacts long-term plan for the city. And really appreciate the time and energy that you put in to look at every word and every phrase to be sure it's doing what it needs to be done. So let us pray. Almighty God, the God of Abraham and Jacob, we come before you this hour with much thanksgiving. We thank you, Lord, we thank you in faith for granting to this commission and to its staff much favor from the citizens of Tullahoma, for raising up knowledgeable citizens who are willing and eager to contribute to the review and crafting of the ordinances of the city, which regulate the use of the land. We thank you also, Father, for flooding this room with your presence and peace, for opening up the eyes of this commission to the issues in this hour of deliberation, quickening their hearts and minds to your will and the matters brought before them. We thank you for filling this commission and their staff with your spirit, with your vision, skill, and ability and knowledge necessary to enable this commission to review the ordinances rightly, which have been set before them, and to make the changes necessary to the benefit of the citizens of Tullahoma. We thank you, Father, as this commission, we thank you for empowering this commission to do its part to unlock the economic potential for our citizens and to do its part to improve the quality of life of our residents. And may he who creates harmony on high fill this city and its residents with his peace and hope in the days ahead. And the people of God said, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, appreciate everybody coming out this afternoon. We will start with any opening comments that we might have from any citizens. I'll remind you also that as we go through the agenda, if we have for each item, we'll give you an opportunity to speak on that specific item. So if you have something specific you're here to speak for, we'll cover that a little bit later on. But if you have something general, please let us know at this time. Okay, seeing nothing, we'll move on to reports from members of the Planning Commission on other boards or organizations they're representing. Is there anything to report? Seeing nothing there, we'll go ahead and proceed then to our consent agenda. Item number 1 on the agenda is approval or correction of the minutes from our March 16th regular meeting. Those minutes are included in your package.
Make a motion that be approved.
Second.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Our regular agenda, item number 1, we have a request for final plat approval for minor division of property at 1603 North Jackson. Staff background recommendation.
Page 5 out of order.
Yep,
It is in mine. Okay.
it's on page 8.
Page 8's the site plan.
Yep, it's not in there then.
Oh, there it is, page 9. Is that? No, that's the site plan.
That's the site plan.
Yeah.
Okay, nope. That was me then. I don't have it. It may be in the original.
Okay.
It's not even on page 8.
One is the site plan. We're looking for the final plat.
Yeah, we'll have a final plat. Getting the
And I
lots
just-
right, and then the site plan. Do we have the slides
Yeah.
We do.
for that?
Yeah.
This is a request for final plat approval for a minor division of property located at 1603 North Jackson Street. Applicant is Ms. Brandy Zachary, Arnold Consulting Engineering Services, and Mr. Phil Warren Jr. with Warren Commercial Real Estate. There's an overview of the property.
right across from the mall.
Street from the mall.
Correct.
Mhm. Staff recommends approval of final plat for 1603 North Jackson Street.
Okay. Jennifer, can you flip back to the previous slide for a second and then to this one, just so we can kind of see what's happening? Okay, so it looks like lot 1603, 307, and a part of 305 are all being combined and then split into two. Is that accurate?
There's Miss Zachary.
You can come on up.
Miss.
Sure, please.
Brandy Zachary with Arnold Consulting Engineering. Actually, the back portion there that's highlighted, that's on 305,
Correct.
it's included as part of the site plan because of the ditch relocation project, because they're going to relocate the ditch that currently runs through 1603 and 305, and they're going to pipe it around.
Okay.
But the actual plat consolidates the lot line between 1603 and 307 and creates a new lot line, and then it consolidates 305 into just one lot. And it dedicates new drainage easements for the ditch relocation.
So the section of 305 that's indicated there is actually an easement, not an actual.
Yeah, that's where the
lot.
ditch relocation is going to happen, and it'll be a drainage easement.
Okay.
But it will remain part of lot 305. And I have a copy of that plat if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, could you, if you don't mind, sorry.
Is that?
There it is.
That's
It's up
yours.
on the screen.
There you go.
So what she's saying is that's not accurate, right? That hard line around the, should be a dotted line.
Yes.
Check to make sure that's the way it is on the plat. Yeah, can we see the plat? Sorry. It's just too small for me to read. I'm getting old. My kids have told me that for years.
So this line goes away, and this new one's created. Yeah, but this still remains part of this lot.
Yep.
We're just dedicating easements on it.
Seven?
It's page 7. I didn't know how to put on there just for easement. So.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Could you draw a outline of where the water flow is going to be?
These are the original copies, so I'm not going to draw on this one. But what
Trace it
we're,
out.
yeah, what we're doing is the storm pipe that comes across the road here.
From North Jackson,
Yeah,
From the wall.
from North Jackson. Right,
yeah, there's a
okay.
pipe that comes across the road and was going into this ditch.
Right.
So we're setting a drainage box here, and there's going to be 36-inch concrete pipe that comes, this is it actually, here, runs down through here and into the new ditch. And then this ditch does tie back in with the existing ditch. Yes, there's boxes, there's drainage boxes at each intersection.
That's the new one that's going to be.
Is that what you needed?
New business.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yes.
All right, are there any public comments on this? Jennifer, this aligns with we got the briefing on all of the drainage work that was going to be done over at the mall, and this was suggested at the time that something like this was going to be coming up on this side of the street, but am I remembering that right?
You are. This will accommodate if the work gets done on the mall side. If you recall, there was the out parcels and there were improvements across the highway, Jackson Street. So from this side of Jackson Street, this picks up and incorporates all of that design, so whenever in the future it will all blend together.
Okay, good. That was my concern, right? We didn't want to set something up here that then is going to either impact or negate the stuff that is taking place across the street. So. Any other questions? Not I move we approve final plat as requested.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item, seems kind of familiar. This is the site plan for the property on 1603 North Jackson Street. Staff background and recommendation.
Staff received a request for site plan approval at 1603 North Jackson Street. This property is zoned C2 General Commercial. This request is for commercial development. This site plan meets all minimum requirements and has been before the Development Advisory Committee, and all comments have been addressed. Staff recommends approval of site plan for 1603 North Jackson Street. And it's on 9 and 10. Yeah.
Again, my eyes are not what they used to be. This looks like the right-hand lot. There's building, kind of drive-through parking, et cetera. The left lot really just has driveway on it. Is that correct?
It's a temporary driveway on that left-hand side to accommodate Public Works and their garbage collection. But the driveway location on the highway is all set up to match the site plan once they find a tenant for that left side.
Okay, good. Set up for future development on the second lot. The key is the building parking flow for the first lot. And the parking lot numbers look sufficient for this size.
Yes, it meets the parking requirements.
There's a lot of non-permeable surface there. Is that going to create challenges for the
There is
new stormwater requirements?
There's a detention basin on the rear that you're probably not seeing in this layout plan, but on the grading plan, there's stormwater detention on the back side of that lot that then discharges to the north into the storm pipe system they're relocating.
Okay. Is this a new building?
Yes, it's
Yes.
proposed commercial development.
Okay.
Brandon, did I answer that correctly?
Yes, the drainage basin goes along the back of both lots.
Okay.
That way, it will accommodate the development of the other lot once they construct on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, just want to make sure we hadn't assumed that second lot was going to stay open when we looked at drainage.
Right.
That drainage was really localized to this lot and meeting the requirements strictly on that lot.
They've looked at it as a whole, yes.
All right, any public comments on the site plan? If not, I move that we approve the site plan as requested.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. Next on the agenda is site plan approval for property at 114 West Lincoln Street. Staff background recommendation.
Staff received a request for site plan approval for 114 West Lincoln Street. This property is owned in its C1 Central Business District. There's a typo in there. This request is for Phase 1 of a 3-phase expansion project. Phase 1 is to create a patio garden area and provide food and beverage service via the relocated existing gazebo, repurposed for beer tubs, custom food trailer, and smoker trailer. The 41 by 136 foot lot in front of the existing business will be enclosed with a new brick iron fence. This fence will have gated access both from West Lincoln Street and North Wall Street. There will also be a gated access for future Phase 2 of this project. Also provided will be a demarcated pedestrian crosswalk between existing business entry and North Wall Street gate. During Phase 1 of the project, deluxe portable ADA restroom trailers for men and women will be provided. For reference only, Phase 2 will be the construction of the new permanent heated men and women's restroom. Phase 2 will be the men and women's restroom, removal of all temporary rental restrooms, and the removal of temporary garbage access. Phase 3 will be the construction of a kitchen, bar, and covered dining area with either overhead doors or a folding wall system. This site plan meets all minimum requirements. This request has been before the Development Advisory Committee, and all comments have been addressed. Staff recommends approval of site plan for the property located at 114 West Lincoln Street.
Jennifer, we had a question here. I was under the impression that this lot, or that this particular lot was a park, it was city land. Is that, am I just not
It is
knowing that?
leased. I'll let Jennifer explain.
It was on here somewhere.
That is on page 5.
Yeah, that's on page 5. That's all I'm going to say. I've already read it. I'm sorry, under staff recommendations, the city has received from the property owner the notice of the termination of the city's lease of the property. No work on the site may commence prior to the May 3rd, 2015 date. Staff recommends approval of site plan for 114 West Lincoln Street.
Okay, so the city was leasing this property from a private owner for a park?
Okay.
Not, okay, I had that backwards.
I did too.
I read that somewhere.
Is this property, this is behind then the old First National building there?
It's actually on the corner.
On the corner there. They have the
There
Christmas
you go.
tree and
There's-
everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's it.
On the corner next to the
And I don't know if this is appropriate to ask here, but with this being like a beer garden per se, does the Tullahoma Police Department need to get involved with this, or will this have to wait till the beer board, just because it's going to be an open area with the public going in and out of this?
Yeah, they will go through the compliance board process.
Okay, so they'll
One
come
thing
to
I
the beer
noticed-
board, they'll come to the beer board before, okay.
One thing I noticed is on that Phase 1, I was impressed with the fencing and gating they're putting up. So it's open, but I can see there's no ingress or egress except for that one location on Wall Street, which is, we refer to the alley.
Yes.
So I like the way they've set this up personally. I think they've done a nice job.
And again, this is just Phase 1 that we're approving, or looking at tonight.
Since there's going to be a lot of pedestrians going back and forth here, will we have speed bumps in there, or we still have speed bumps in that alley?
Just, you
There's
know.
not speed bumps, but they have agreed to put in ADA compliant with stop bars, so it's visible
Okay.
that there is a pedestrian crossing
Okay.
and signage that may be necessary. And so, yes, we've had a lot of discussion on that crosswalk there.
Okay.
And to match actually the type of crosswalks that are going in under the new city downtown project.
Yes, yes. I'm sure they'll work with the city on that. I don't have any doubt, but just concerned about people going back and forth there. I think it's wonderful that someone is willing to invest in our community to do something like this.
I do too.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think it's great, and they've thought it out very thoroughly, it appears.
So Jennifer, is this going to leave an open section? It looks like they're building the wall parallel to, or continuing out the full
Yeah.
depth section. Does that leave the, yeah, help me.
Please.
Smallwood Indigo in Nashville. The area in the back is, we're intending to leave that open because there's a lot of services that the city needs to get to and our engineers will need to get to.
Right, no, I was talking about the down the right side. You've got the wall coming down, and there's space, it looks like. Yeah, no, absolutely.
The property is actually right here along this line. This part is part of another plat. So it's just that zone right there. And this stays open because there are some egress issues back here for the building on the front side.
So that is like that's grass right through there then?
There's a paved walkway and grass on either side right here.
Okay.
And I think Clayton's is here, and then there's
Yes.
another little building right here. And Yeah, so the property that we're looking to improve starts right on the corner of this building and goes straight up to the...
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I understand now.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Sure.
Now, aren't there a couple of art installation, or I guess there used to be, those swinging panels aren't there anymore, are they? Okay, so there's nothing there for the city that we need to take out.
Jackhammered up and re-turfed.
Okay. All right, any public comment?
Who owns that grass strip between the improved area is Max Christopher. Beg your pardon? Max Christopher. Okay, so it's a separate ownership of that grass strip there.
It's a separate parcel. We verified that there are parcel lines that come down that line that he pointed to. So they're just purchasing or leasing that parcel, but the other parcel is, there is a parcel line here.
Yeah.
So this is a tract. This is a separate tract.
And this is what's being improved.
Yes.
Okay, everything's open. Yes.
Part being improved.
Does Max own the part that's being improved?
For the moment, I've got a contract to buy it if this plan is approved.
Okay. The First National, is it up in the very top corner then? The back side of that, I'm calling it that just for lack of, I don't know what it's called now.
Well,
They've been empty.
The back building would be all this in gray at the top.
Okay.
This building having a big garage door, and it was used for like file storage. The other part would be the back with, there was a entrance on Wall Street, and then it goes all the way over to Atlantic and the entrance on Atlantic. And then this building that goes down to here was their accounting offices. It had an entrance on Lincoln Street.
I apologize, I didn't catch your name when you were...
Joe Keller.
Oh, okay, you're Joe, okay.
Are there, the businesses that are on the other side, is there Clayton's, and then is there anything else that's on the other side of that where they need access to go in and out?
Oh, no, there's a hotel.
The Veranda. Yeah, it's on the other side. But anything that's where that red line is there any other businesses that's along there that they have to be able to come in and out from that grassy area? Do they need access to that?
This building here?
Yes.
Yeah, they're going to be putting doorway here, and that's why this sidewalk is being left as is.
Okay.
That's owned by Max Christopher
As well. Yes.
So that
He owns the whole shebang, everything from Atlantic to Wall Street to Lincoln Street.
I just didn't know if they needed access to get in and out of anything back over there.
Well, there is a courtyard somewhere in the back where several offices have openings to it, but that's not anywhere on what's shown on the screen.
Right.
I think that Clayton's or Veranda, they don't access out to that side there. That accounting office that belonged to the bank, all of that is kind of integral going up and combining into the bank, so.
All right, thank you. Any public comment on this site plan? Motion to accept.
Is what you're looking for? I'm sorry.
Well, I could move again if you guys want me to. I'm just feeling like I have to do everything.
Yeah, I make a motion, we accept the final plat approval for the...
The site plan.
Where am I?
Site plan.
Site plan, I'm sorry. Site plan, yes.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second to accept the site plan approval as requested. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving along. Thank you. Next item is a request for final plat for minor division of property at 222 Reeves Street. Staff background recommendation.
Staff received a request for final plat approval for a minor division of property located at 222 Reeves Street. This property is zoned R1, low-density residential. This request is to divide a 1.90-acre tract into 4 lots. Lot 1 being .28, Lot 2 being .28, Lot 3 being .54, and Lot 4 being .81. It's actually turning 2 lots into 4 lots. So there's the current view in the red. That's the 2 lots, and it's going to be turned into 4 lots for single-family homes.
Jennifer, can you help me locate here?
Yes,
Where is Reeves
please.
Street?
Behind Kings Lane.
I can't
Behind
move it
Kings
down.
Yeah, it's right near the intersection where Kings Lane.
Is it on that corner?
Middleton Court, yeah, do you know where?
It's up here going like that. So Reed
Yeah.
Street connects Kings Lane to Washington Street.
Yes.
Middleton Court's right there across the street.
Actually, I was just down there the other day.
What?
It's on the backside of
Yeah.
the senior apartments.
Yeah.
Middleton
see them
Court.
right
That's
Yeah.
up where.
Yeah, you can zoom
that's off
in.
of
Yeah, you can see where you
Okay.
turn in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually right across from,
And the lady,
what is that? The
Yeah,
care facility there.
Morning
Point. Thank you. So it's, yeah, it's right across from.
Okay.
Can we see the first one again, just for a second? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
2 lots, it's those 2 that already have the existing houses on them. Or
The
one of them's
house on
gone.
220 has been torn down.
Yes.
So the only existing structure is the house on 222.
That's correct.
Okay. Can you go ahead and flip to the new, and that'll remain, then it's
Yes, sir.
normally set on its lot and all that kind of thing. So Jennifer, lot 4, or Scott, one of you two guys, lot 4 represents a flag lot, as I understand flag lots to be.
Yes, actually, Lot 3 and 4.
Okay.
Flag lots.
I guess lot 3 a little more, lot 4 a little more egregiously than lot 3. But they meet our new subdivision regulation versions or our old subdivision
They meet our
regulations?
old subdivision regulation requirements on the width of that handle is 25 feet. Now, what's proposed in the new is 50 feet.
But that is the rule that's in place today. We have not
That's
passed the
exactly right.
rules, and so we
Correct.
can't. And there's no other access to that lot than,
No, sir.
so the concern with flag lots is always emergency ingress egress, right? So they're way back off the road, it's a fairly narrow way to get to and from them. So it's compliant with our current regulations. Either really good planning or good luck on your part to be here today.
Good luck.
With this.
But that said, I have no reason not to go positive myself on this issue.
That lot 4 is going to be challenging. It's not,
Does meet all minimum requirements.
it certainly does meet all minimum requirements. That's, I was going to say, the fact that it's challenging is, I mean, don't want to seem callous, it's not our problem, it's, but that's going to be different. All right, any other discussion, any public comments on this subdivision? All right, well, I move that we approve the subdivision as requested, final plat, excuse me, as requested.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So after today, hopefully, I'll have to have 50 feet and have less opportunities for flag lots.
And less headache.
Okay, our next item is item number 5, request for final plat for minor division property on Cook Road. Staff background recommendation.
Staff received a request for final plat approval for a minor division of property located on Cook Road. This property is located in Franklin County outside the Tullahoma city limits, but within the Tullahoma planning region. This property is zoned agricultural. This request is to divide a 8.50 acre tract into 2 lots. Lot 1 to be 4.31 and Lot 2 to be 4.19 of the remaining lands of the Amaral. This final plat for minor division of property meets all minimum requirements. This request has been before the Development Advisory Committee and all comments have been addressed. Staff recommends approval of the final plat of property located on Cook Road.
You flip to the next slide. So if I'm reading this correct, Heiss, who owns the property at 1812, is purchasing the portion of the property that's immediately behind and next to current? No.
No, we got the good assumption.
Different Heisses.
It's a very relative, yes.
Okay, never mind then. That kills my question of are they merging the 2 lots or not?
That's actually what I was told when he came in, when Curtis Heiss came in, that they were joining those 2 eventually, but not now. Not now.
It's just on there for.
But, so the request is not currently to
No.
combine those 2 lots, okay.
This is to turn 1 lot into 2.
Yep.
Any public comments on this? All right. If there's nothing else, I move that we approve the request for final plat approval. Oh, sorry. Yep.
I'm assuming that the grayed out area, the gray square that's divided, I'm assuming that that was never a part of that property that's being divided. Is that correct?
No.
Now, this is the current view as it is now.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, so it's not a part, the green area is the only thing that we're
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
arrow is just for information purposes. That 8.5 acres is being divided into 2 tracts, 4.31 acres.
So the grayed out area there is
Yeah.
never a part of this.
No, we just highlighted.
I was gonna say, I don't hesitate to say never. It is not currently a
Well,
part.
not currently.
We highlighted the area that we're asking for to be divided.
I'd suspect those 2 got carved out of there probably 20 years ago or so. No problem. Okay, we good? All right, I move we approve the request for final plat approval.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, next item on the agenda is the construction performance bond report. I believe that's included on page 22.
There's no changes.
No changes and nothing upcoming soon.
Oh,
On sub?
Yeah, we'll get to
We're gonna
that.
do that.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I won't adjourn before we get that
yeah.
done.
Got it, go in order. It'll be number 3. I just missed it.
Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll just stick to this and we'll add that as item 3. So, but our next item is to set our next meeting, which would be on Monday, May the 18th, with the study session to follow immediately. Any conflicts with that?
I will not be here.
You're not going to be able to be here.
I'll be out of town.
I think we'll have a forum. You'll have the material ahead of time if there's anything, any questions you have or anything, if you can just let one of us know, get those answered for you. All right, with that, I move that we set our next regular meeting to be Monday, May the 18th at 4 p.m. Need a second.
I second.
Thank you.
You're having to really work with us tonight, aren't you?
It's all good. We have motion and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our final item for this evening is the review and I guess this will be our vote on the updates to the subdivision regulations that we've been working on over the past couple months. You should have before you a fully conformed copy of what has been discussed with the changes that we discussed to be made at our last study session, that was made available to the public after our last meeting. So, staff, have you received any comments?
We have not,
inputs?
staff wants to report, we've not received any comments, and that we recommend you go ahead and vote.
All righty. So,
I make a motion that we approve the new Regional Planning Commission subdivision regulations.
Okay. Motion
Second.
and a second to approve the subdivision regulations as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That's our first one down. So our next document that we are going to be tackling through our study sessions and we anticipate having complete will be what? Zoning regulations
Zoning
next?
ordinance.
Okay, so we are prepared for the zoning ordinance. Didn't want to spring that on you if you guys weren't quite ready for that one yet. But I know it's probably the hardest one we're going to do, right? This is typically the most contentious and the most difficult. Staff has had to do quite a bit of work to prepare for this one, so definitely everything you can do talking to folks in the community about this particular ordinance, where the subdivision regulations is ours and is all within the purview of this commission. They'll be forwarded to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for their information, but it's our regulation, so there's no need for approval of the BMA. The zoning ordinance will move forward merely as a recommendation from this board to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. The zoning ordinance as an ordinance is their document. But it is critically important. It governs what people can do in their own property within the city limits, and that really touches a lot of people's sensitivities. So
I probably should have mentioned this when I was at or during the planning commissioner's reports. I failed to remember this, but I have been attending the mayor's planning and coordinating meeting, and I did stress that we're getting ready to review this and how important it is. And so as I'm out in the community, I am mentioning this is coming before us very quickly here. People really need to pay attention to it. So I think we all have an obligation to try to get that word out.
absolutely. So the other thing I would like to try and do, if we can, the last time we reviewed this, there were some fairly significant changes made between the Planning Commission and the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. And part of that was based on the fact that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen were getting different input, apparently, than what the Planning Commission was getting. So that would make all of this a lot smoother if we could encourage folks, if they believe something needs to be a certain way in this document, the primary route for getting that either preserved the way it is or changed if necessary is to come to the Planning Commission and to have that discussion here in the public forum where we have the opportunity to. Obviously, if they don't believe that that's, if the recommendation we make that they don't agree with that, they should take that to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. But for the first time those arguments to be presented would be at the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. That just makes things very awkward for this body, right? To be recommending what we honestly believe represents the desires of the citizenry, and then to have something completely different communicated to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen really it created some significant challenges for this body and for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. So,
Jennifer, can we have that put in the paper? Something we can have it put in the paper.
We'll have input frame.
so
And and also it wouldn't hurt to have it on their website.
We will.
Thank you.
So, just be aware, and we will start. We don't have anything to review this afternoon regarding this, do we, Jennifer? Do we have the first set? Okay, so we will start next month following our regular session. We'll start to tackle the document. We'll step through, and then after we've gotten through the areas that the staff needs changed, while we're doing that, again, highly encourage you to look around the city and understand where things are perhaps not being used according to their zone, or are need to be changed to reflect the growth and the changes that are happening in the city, because that's then again, people are somewhat interested in what the document says, but what they're more interested in is what the map says, right? And so we need to, along with the document, we need to present the updated map. So we'll, keep an eye out for that. Take us probably 2 or 3 months to incorporate all the changes and to discuss all the changes that staff may have. And during that time frame, then that's the time to gather the inputs for the map. We'll make the recommended changes to the map and the recommended changes to the document together to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and give them the opportunity. They'll have a couple of readings and some public hearings and we'll be able to come back. Hopefully they will be able to adopt it in fairly short order and we'll move on. So, okay. Jennifer, when we go over this, can we get a copy of the current land use plan too, since the two things are tightly interwoven? So we'll talk about the zoning ordinance and the current zone map. The land use plan is essentially the long-range projected zoning map. So that is the 20-year plan for where we think zoning will be within the city limits in the future. And it's important because when we receive requests for rezoning, or actually the Board of Mayor and Aldermen is going to receive those requests, but they come through this body. When we're making that recommendation, it can be based on a couple of different things. If we recommend rezoning, it can be based on contiguous zoning, i.e. it's, if we have a parcel that everything around it, or even one of the parcels around it is zoned differently, to change the zone of the parcel under consideration to reflect the one that it's contiguous with is legitimate. You can do that. No, that's well-established legal precedent. The other, if there's not any of that zone contiguous with it, it would be what they refer to as spot zoning. If you were to change the zone of that property in the middle of a bunch of other dissimilarly zoned properties, that's not always bad, that's not always wrong, but it usually is. It's highly discouraged. But one of the exceptions that allows you to do that is if that area is reflected in the land use plan in that new zone, then that is justification. It's no longer spot zoning. It basically says the city has planned that this whole section will be changed in zoning over time, and this just happens to be the first property within it that has come up to be considered. Okay, so that gives us the basis upon which to form it, or to pass a decision to approve a rezoning that is not contiguous with that particular zone. So all that'll be a little bit clearer as we're looking through this and stuff. But so the land use plan, again, is just a planning commission document. It's something we'll review and we'll take a look at after we're done with the zoning ordinance. But just understanding that those two things are really linked, where the zoning ordinance is what's on the ground today and what's enforceable. The land use plan is capturing our plans for the future in a way that allows us then to make decisions on changes to the current in a way that is legally defensible. Pat, is there anything else anyone has? Any new business? Any items that we need to review in study session this afternoon?
Move we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn? And a second. All in favor? Adjourn.